Hey everybody, it's Ryan. Welcome back to How Farms Work. So yesterday we got a pretty strong windstorm. We had 60-mile-per-hour winds sustained for 10 minutes. And the corn is pretty bad in some spots. Overall, I'd say we fared much better than last year through August 10th. So we're gonna take the four-wheeler out through the pasture, and I wanna go around, just check the fences to make sure that there aren't any big trees on the fence. I can still see the cows, but for how many fence lines we have with lots of trees on them, I just want to go around and make sure that basically none of the neighbors' big trees fell along the north to south fence line over on that far hillside over there. So the cows are in, and that's what's important. I just want to make sure that they stay in. That one just narrowly missed the fence. It actually jumped the fence. The tree's on the other side. I'd say the big fence lines that I'm worried about are just fine. I'm gonna go check the other pasture, go around that, because I plan on letting the cows out into that one soon, just to make sure that everything's kosher out there, so I don't let them go to a surprise. So go check that, and we'll head back to the buildings. And I'm gonna do some flying today over the farms to see what kind of damage we saw from the storm as far as crops go. Mr. Promiscuous here, I had to lock him back in the steer lot because he found his way over to the neighbors and with their cows. So I'm letting him back out with mine because they are jumping each other. Or at least I saw one jumping another one when I was out there. So I want to get him out there while I can. And if I can, I want to get them all out into the other pasture. So I'm going to let him out, at least push him out into the pasture, come back out tonight, open the gate between the pastures right now, and hopefully by the time I come back they'll all be out in that other pasture and I can lock them out. Now just don't run back through the neighbor's fence. I better follow him out there and open the gate out in the other pasture while he's out there, because he broke off in a dead run. So I just let the bull back out after his short detention. Now this one with the white spot on her head is in heat. And I can tell by looking at her, and this calf was jumping up on her, so that's one dead giveaway. But see this other one here? She's jumping up on her and she's not moving. So that's a dead giveaway that she's in heat. But she was also riding other ones, and the other ones weren't standing there and pretty much just letting her ride her. They were trying to get away. So that's telling me that she's the one that needs to be bred. So I just let the bull out. He should be making his way up here if he hasn't already, and hopefully he's gonna get her bred. I went around and checked everything out in the Klein pasture. Everything's good, so I'm gonna go ahead and open the gate, let them out, and if I can get them all locked out there, I'll lock them out of this pasture for about 3 weeks, and depending on how fast they grub that down, I'll let them back out into here. This is usually the last time I lock them out. Usually the next time I'll just open the gate and leave them roam. There she goes again, jumping another one. She didn't let her stand on her. So definitely that one with the red coat. The bull is just over the hill over there under that cottonwood tree. All 42 plus the calves are here. Hey girls! Hey girls! Come on! Hey girls! They're like, what's happening? Roxy! Roxy! It's one of my oldest cows right there. I've had her for 9 years. Here comes a bull, bellering and running. Come on, girls! Fresh green grass out there. Come on, girls! Come on! Here he comes. He's gonna find out pretty quick which one's in heat. Welcome to Jurassic Park. Oh, what did I say, folks? They're like, come on, open the gate. Let us through. Well, come on. The gate's open. Are you serious? All right, guess I'm not opening it today. No big worry there. No, that's fine. I guess I'll just leave it open. No big deal. Yeah, you guys get to it when you feel like it, I guess. Dude, the gate is open. Go for it. Oh my goodness. There we go. We got our first taker. Oh wow, the gate's open. Who would have guessed? I hope you guys are counting. Come on, there you go. Sweet. That is all of them. I'm gonna do a quick run through the pasture, make sure that all of them are out here, because there's one down below. I thought she came up because I chased her up to the hillside, but there's no guarantee that she came up over the hill. But I'll leave them out here. Hopefully they'll be all right. I hope that the other neighbor over there doesn't have cattle in. So far, the bull has gotten in with the neighbors over there, back there, and I hope it's not a three-peat. This is not a tree I would eat these apples from. So, if you ever see an apple tree that has apples on it, and it looks like the foliage on it is dead or dying, I do not recommend eating from them, because this tree in particular got sprayed with pesticide, crossbow, which is an herbicide, plus I had diesel fuel in the mix, and there's still some foliage left on it, and it still managed to bear fruit. So if you're ever out in the pasture and see an apple tree, don't eat from one that looks like the foliage is missing part from, because there's probably a good chance that someone sprayed it. I hopped back in the truck because the wind is blowing so hard you can probably hear me better in here. We are currently under a tornado watch, so hopefully I'm not out here doing this again tomorrow. But up here on the corner of the property, you can see that we do have some downed corn. It's standing a whole lot better than it was last year, but looks like we're still going to have some issues harvesting in some areas. The one good thing to come out of this is that if everything is true to what it was last year, the crop is out there. As long as we can get it into the head and we can get it into the combine, we can still get it harvested. So that might involve harvesting from one direction. We might need a corn reel again this year, but I'm just glad that this didn't happen a little bit earlier in the season, because at least all of the ears are filled. And the big issue is getting the crop up off now, and we might have some drying issues as well. So this corner piece up at Rockville definitely has some damage to it. Ouch. So from what I've seen so far, this by far is the worst farm that we've had any damage on. Travis said that everything looks okay down at his place. The real unfortunate thing is that this is our highest yielding farm. So part of the logic between why the corn might be down, I mean, a lot goes into it. You could argue, not the right variety out there. We should have short stature corn out there. Kind of the theory that we've gone with behind it, why we always seem to have damage at Rockville. And it always seems that we have high amounts of crop damage along this ridge line. One of the reasons I think is because this is our highest yielding farm. There's more weight on the plants, so they're more susceptible to wind damage. So we have always treated this farm as kind of like our Goldilocks farm, where we put as much as we can towards it because this has the best soil in the area, so we know that it can yield. Oh my goodness, look at that. That makes me sick. Ugh. Now everything beyond the strips here that you see, they're planning on putting into solar panels next spring, is when they plan to start construction, the last I heard. So everything beyond those strips, all the way down that back road, is going to be solar. And then looking to the right, this whole farm to the left is going to be in solar. That back 40 acres right there by those hog buildings are going to be in solar. And then it's going to stretch over to about the middle of the screen there, and all those beans over there are going to be solar. Now if I continue spinning around, you can actually see my house off in the distance, right about in the middle of the picture right there. So, I mean, looking around, I mean, the soybeans, they got knocked over. Looking across the road at Travis's field, there is some wind damage out there as well, but it's not nearly as bad as it is here, which is fortunate. You know, less damage the better. I'm telling you guys, every year it seems like we're getting strong winds across these farms. There's just something about this huge long ridge line. It seems like in the past decade we've gotten multiple storms that have been damaging crops and buildings alike. The good news is that the majority of the crop out there is soybeans. Well, I gotta be honest, it's a lot worse than what I thought it was looking at it from the side. It could be a lot worse. I think that we're still gonna be able to harvest a majority of it, but this farm's gonna be a nightmare to try and harvest, especially that second strip from the top there. Let's bring it back in and go have a look at the other farms. So this is my 24-acre cornfield, and there's obviously wind damage out in it. Fair amount, actually. Yikes. Why right there? Now we're at my 24.5 acre field of beans, looking for any signs of hail damage, and can't really say that I see too much. There's a lot of lost leaves on the tops of the plants in some spots that I'm seeing, but overall I think the beans are all right from what I can see here. If there was hail damage, what I would expect to see is that the plants would be shredded. But knowing how beans are, typically, you know, you could come out here with a baseball bat and that would increase your yield. So I'm not too worried about them. So far, they look pretty good. Let's go check out that last field, which is my place. Check out this last farm. From what I can see on this farm, the corn out here, it is wind damaged, but from what I can see, it looks like a lot of the plants are broken off or tipped over at just above ear height. So as long as you get the snoot down close to the ground, right now the plants are either going to straighten out or just kind of slowly fall down into the ground. So where these ones are broken off at, I think even if they don't recover, as long as the ear's dry, they should be able to be harvested just by putting the corn head down on the ground. I don't expect that it's all going to be super duper easy, but at least it's not as badly damaged as it is over Rockville. So let's crawl in and have a look. So a lot of the corn on this farm looks like this. So these plants aren't actually broken off, they're just pushed over. So this plant right here should recover, and they're not ripped out of the ground like they were with the derecho last year. The rows aren't going to be straight, so it's not going to be fun harvesting. You got to make sure that we get the head down on the ground to get these up into the head. But there is some corn damage out here from where it snapped off. This plant isn't going to recover. Neither is that one, or a lot of them along here. So you can see the wind came through, just pushing that direction out east. I was sitting in the house and I was telling Hannah, you know, maybe we should get down in the basement after going through the derecho last year. It's like, maybe we should just go downstairs for a little bit. And I was looking over this way, and there was just a wall of wind and rain, and it's like, it looks like there's something going on to the south of us, and it would line up pretty good with the straight line wind that came through from this farm. It would have hit Rockville, and then it would have hit my 30-acre cornfield over there as well. These are all pretty much in a straight line, and as you can see, it seems like this was a bulk of where the wind came through. I mean, looking around, I haven't seen any other corn damaged, even right up over the hill. I mean, they have strips over there, and their corn is still standing. So during that ordeal yesterday, there was a house just over the hill that got struck by lightning. Well, the propane tank got struck by lightning and started on fire, and the flames moved over to the house. And the same exact thing actually happened 10 miles east, which is really weird. Lightning struck two different propane tanks 10 miles apart and started the buildings on fire. But they got to this one in time. Looks like they saved the building. I don't know what kind of damage they had or anything like that, but I was looking over here watching, waiting for the smoke, because I heard the sirens, and I'm like, is that the tornado siren? Because it was right after the wind came through, and surely enough, it was that propane tank that blew up. So anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. Hopefully nothing comes from the tornado watch that we're currently under, but if there is, I'm sure you guys will hear about it. So anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to check out all of our other videos. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and be sure to stay tuned as we move into harvesting. And the corn starts drying up, and we can hopefully start harvesting late September, early October, starting with the beans. So hopefully we don't get any more severe storms like this. And it's one thing to want rain, but it's a whole nother thing to get derechos and tornadoes. So anyway, I'll see you next time, guys.